just meant to be. If only you and I. Don't you lose sight of what you want. Care about the simple things in life that bring you joy and lead the way.
Oh my goodness, gravy train. So a little bit of background information. First and foremost, I wanted to say that I have ADD, as a lot of the kids that I went to school with, and a lot of people had varying um, levels, as I should say, of mental disabilities. I don't think that's not really the word, but like they had like we weren't normal, okay, unlike a lot of other clans. But it turns out that a good chunk of the school that I went to, a lot of the kids already had something going on up here, and varying severities from just minor ADD all the way to they had to be in the special needs program. So with that being said, and then of course they had like 529s, I think, IPPs, 411, 511. I forget what the three numbers was it, but it was like different plans for kids that had different mental things wrong with them mentally. And it's probably because of the Bush's No Child Left Behind. I mean, this story takes place in 2014. Yeah, no, 2013. Yeah, this story takes place in 2013. And one second, y'all. I just had to answer a cell phone call mid conversation. I mean, mid recording. But okay, yeah. So basically, how the school had it was that even if you had certain disabilities, you could still be in class with the regular students. Freaking sideways. There we go. You could still be in class with the rest of the kids. Well, it turns out that so we had this one kid. His name was Christian Gravy, and he was on the spectrum too. But see, like you didn't notice it. I mean, he was just a normal kid. You know, he did his work like everyone else, reading his books like everyone else. You know, he didn't blurt out or try to be class clown or distracting. But the one thing about him is that if you messed with his is that if you messed with him when he was reading his Harry Potter or his Hunger Games, oh boy, that boy was like Chernobyl. So like, sometimes some of the teachers, mainly the male teachers, especially the male teachers that were coaches, that were football coaches, they would tell him to put his book up because we're changing assignments or we're about to take a test. Well, he would be like, "No, I want to read my book." Teacher would tell him again, "Put it up. We're about to take a test." And he would say no again. So teachers would, or one of the other students thought it was funny to go, well, not the teachers didn't do this because the teachers they just hit the panic alarm button, and the administrator came in and they dealt with it. But sometimes some of the kids would take his book and hide it or take it away from him, and that would just start this dude melting down. Like he wouldn't be loud at first, but like he would take his pens and pencils and would just start breaking them in front of everybody, and then he would just start balling up his papers on his desk. And if your paperwork was, and if your stuff was close to his stuff, he would start balling your stuff up. Then he would start throwing around his books and his book bags, and then that's when he would just start screaming. That's when he would just have a whole meltdown, screaming fit, whole Chernobyl, freaking just going crazy in the classroom about not being able to read his Harry Potter. So the teacher would hit the panic alarm, the um, principal would come and a couple of the principal's aides, and they would take him to the office and or I guess to the ISS room for him to cool down. Well, and he did this every time there were every time someone took his book away and he didn't want to take his book away. Surprisingly, he listened throughout the bells and everyone's class changed, but during class time, if he was reading that book, you do not want to listen to him reading his book. So fast forward to April, I think, of 2014. And here in Canton County, our schools do a thing to where if you're in elementary school in fifth grade, towards the end of the year, you take a field trip to the middle schools. That way you can kind of see what it's going to look like for you in the fall. And and when you're in eighth grade in middle school, they take you to the high school. That way you can kind of see what that's going to be like for the next 4 years. And then from high school, sometimes colleges will have you do a tour. That way you can kind of see what college is going to look like, give or take. If you decide to go or not, but like pretty much when you were the fifth, eighth, and 12th grades, which were the top grades for that school, you would always go do a special field trip. So here we are in eighth grade in Coach Lang's science class, and Coach Lang, he was pretty built, pretty buff dude. He was one of the head football coaches at the time. In fact, he still does teach football at between the high school and the middle schools. So we all had to do a pop quiz. Everyone that got to finish theirs just got to lay their heads down, play on the Chromebook. Did we? We had Chromebooks, but they weren't assigned to us at the time. It was just whoever got them on the cart. So people could read books, put their head down, don't make no noise while everyone else is taking their test. Just perfect, you know. And at the same time, they had the middle schoolers were no the elementary school kids were coming along, and they were taking a tour of the middle school, and they were showing them all the cool classrooms and stuff. Because in middle school, you know, you have like full science classrooms with like sinks and the Bunsen burners and gas and cool fossils and stuff, and like all the classrooms were like a lot more detailed, depending on what the subject was. And so we're all reading the books, or just not making noise till Coach Lang says that we're done with the test. So here we are. We are done with the test, and he puts on a video for us to watch for the next thing that we have to learn. So everyone else, you know, stops doing what they're doing. They put their books up, except this Christian kid. Now the book that this wasn't his personal Hunger Games book. This was a book that he got from the school library. So what Coach Lang is about to do to this book wasn't to his personal property. But what transpired next was everybody was paying attention to go watch the video that he put on. Coach Lang tells Christian, time to put your book up and watch the video. He's still reading away. Coach tells him again, put the book up, we about to watch this video. He doesn't listen again. So Coach goes over to his desk, grabs the book, and beams that shit across the damn classroom. Beams it. It hits the wall, and the freaking science classrooms are like 25% bigger than the normal one. So he lunges at a good 50 feet across the classroom. It hits the freaking wall and just bow and just falls on the ground. Paper everywhere. So Coach Lang puts on the video, and that's when this kid starts Chernobyling again. So he starts, you know, ripping up his papers, breaking his pencils and pens, starts throwing that stuff, starts throwing his bag, starts throwing his textbooks, banging his fist on the desk, starting to like he's melted, like he's having a Chernobyl melting down moment. Everyone else around him has jumped up and ran away. Me and some other boys who shouldn't have been laughing because it was not funny watching this kid crash out. But he was starting to like having a whole nuclear meltdown, and we're laughing our asses off at him crashing out. And he's screaming out, and it's like, "What is funny? What is funny? That's not funny. Through my book." So we're just dying laughing. Coach Lang is like, he tells him, go out in the damn hallway, bro. I ain't dealing with this. He don't want to listen. So Coach Lang goes and he hits the panic button. So the admins are coming to our classroom, and at the same time when they're doing the tours, A group of fifth graders come into the classroom and are just watching just the chaos unfold. Just me and my friends laughing. The other kids that are scared. The other guys that they don't know what to do. And now we have like 20 fifth graders in this classroom on top of this kid crashing out. So Coach Lang does not want nothing to happen to this kid. So he goes up to him and is like, get the hell out of this damn classroom. This kid takes this fucking chair. He stands up and takes his chair in front of the classroom of kids, takes it, and beams it across the damn floor. Like, he just freaking Hulk smashes the damn chair. Desk, shit, everything just goes flying everywhere. Now you have people that are really scared. Me and my friends, we're on the damn ground. We're laughing our asses off at this kid because he's just showing his ass. Like, he's full on Chernobyl elephant's foot melting down at this point. You have the teachers and the other people that are with the fifth graders. They're all crying because they're just seeing this kid just hulking out, like crashing out big time. So like they're all crying. So that's when the admins are almost at the door. Coach Lang is like, you know what? Fuck this. He goes and grabs Christian by the arm and is dragging him. He's kicking and screaming. He is kicking and screaming as he's getting dragged out of the freaking classroom down the hall. And we're all just left there wondering, like, what the hell just happened? Like, this kid just crashed out over nothing. And so, we had to clean up all the mess that he made. And surprisingly, he was still all back in our fucking in that class for the rest of the year. But it was like April, so it didn't take much. But yeah, and I think he moved away after 8th grade, so that was the last I heard of him. But yeah, that was Gravy Train. So let me know down in the comments below if you had any experiences with kids that probably should have been with the special needs if they were in the classroom, and what did they do whenever they crashed out. But until then, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, peace out, my Floridians.